Day 4. Make yourself available. What does a giant fighter look like? You might think of one of your favorite superheroes who has amazing superpowers. David, God's chosen, who successfully defeated the giant, was no superhero. He was an ordinary kid, just like you and your friends sitting beside you. The Bible describes David like this. David was the youngest. The 3 oldest followed Saul, but David went back and forth from Saul to tend to his father's sheep at Bethlehem. 1 Samuel 17, verse 14 and 15. He was a young teen, about your age, caring for his father's sheep. David couldn't shoot webs, crawl on walls, or have superhuman strength like Spider-Man. He did not have the strength, speed, and fighting abilities of Wonder Woman. Neither could he become invisible, move objects with his mind, or have some fancy gear. Still, he did something extraordinary. Why? David developed some special characteristics. Would you like to accomplish more every day? Let's learn of one of David's characteristics today. I will go. One day, David's dad gave him a simple job. Take this ephah of roasted grain and these 10 loaves of bread for your brothers and hurry to their camp. Take these 10 cheeses to the commander of their unit, see how your brothers are, and bring back some assurance from them. 1 Samuel 17, verse 17 and 18. That's it. Just a simple delivery and bringing back news for his father. It was an ordinary job for a young boy. The distance from Bethlehem to the valley of Elah was 15 miles, around 23 kilometers to the southwest. If he left in the morning, David would have returned to Bethlehem by the evening and could sleep peacefully at his home. But he chose to act differently. When David arrived in Elah, he saw Goliath yelling and scaring the army of Saul. No one was brave enough to face him. David demonstrated a unique quality. He went to the tent of King Saul and spoke these courageous words. Let no one lose heart on account of his Philistine. Your servant will go and fight him. 1 Samuel 17, verse 32. Without military experience, armor, or a sword, this young man cried out, saying, I will go. I will fight. He was ready to step up. One of David's biggest strengths is that he made himself available. Now, why would he do that? He cared about others. Fighting Goliath was not David's responsibility. He had completed the task his father gave him. He delivered the food and checked how his brothers were doing. But when he saw the desperate condition of Saul's army, he didn't just walk away. He offered to help. David was concerned and interested in the welfare of his brothers and others. This caused him to go out of his way to help. As we grow, many of us learn to focus on ourselves and avoid getting involved in other people's business, so we are not considered nosy. This can keep us in our own bubble, blind to the difficulties and needs of others. When we're okay, happy, and satisfied, it's easy not to notice that others are hurting or need a helping hand. Apostle Paul disapproves of this selfish attitude. He told his young disciple, Timothy, that in the last days, People will be lovers of themselves. 2 Timothy 3 verse 2. Not showing concern or caring for others, and encourage him not to imitate such people. Young David became a giant slayer and a national hero because he cared and was interested in the well-being of others. Ready to give something up. When David decided to fight the giant, he was ready to give up his own time and comfort. He could have peacefully returned to Bethlehem, played his music, and relaxed with his sheep. Instead, he stayed and took a big risk of being hurt, even putting his life in danger for others. Helping others or doing what's right often means giving something up. We have limited resources, such as time, energy, and money. When you spend time helping others, you have less time to play. When you give a portion of your piggy bank, money as offerings for missionaries to go preach to people who don't know Jesus, you have less money to spend on yourself. Do you hesitate to do or attempt something big because you are afraid of what you might lose? We should be wise in the use of our resource. However, when we help others, give money for God's mission through tithes and offerings, or dedicate our lives to serve Jesus, God promises to reward our sacrifices and bless us. He always finds a way to give us much more than we previously had. It's like the little boy who gave his basket of food to Jesus. Jesus multiplied his food to feed a huge crowd, and the boy had a surplus to bring back home. Ready for something new. David was ready to do something that he had never done before. He had never seen or fought a giant, and had never seen anyone fight one either. But that did not stop him. Even though his brother Eliab made fun of him and told him to go home, David was ready to do something original. We all have our habits that please us the most. When you see a need or are asked to do something, do you decline the act because it is something new that you've never done before? New things can sometimes be scary, but this should not stop you from doing what is right. The Bible tells us that God likes doing new and unusual things. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland. Isaiah 43, verse 19. He would love to use us to do these new things if we say yes. Growth, development, and outstanding achievement happens to those prepared to attempt things they have not done before. Today, we have learned that David became a giant fighter because he made himself available. He did not wait for someone else to act. He cared for others, was ready to give something up, and was not afraid to try something new. God works in you to fulfill his good purpose. In Philippians 2, verse 13. Just like David, all you have to say is, I'm available, use me. Going deeper. What does it really mean to say, here I am, send me, to God? How do sacrifice, compassion, and courage work together when we say yes to God? What small step could you take this week to be available to God and others.